ever the storyteller about the history of where we are at today. Thank you so much, Rick. Up next, we have Rachel Nuwer, who is an award-winning science journalist and the author of I Feel Love, MDMA, and the Quest for Connection in a Fractured World. She writes for outlets like the New York Times and National Geographic, and she has a focus on human connection and the natural world. Rachel, great to have you.
Thank you. Good evening. So I did not have the pleasure of knowing Sasha myself, but I did get to visit the farm, and I know that everyone who has been there can agree that it is a very magical and singular place. And I just want to give a heartfelt shout out to the Shulgin Foundation for preserving that history. It's going to be there for generations of students, scholars, and just superfans to come. Now, while I was researching this book, I also had the pleasure of talking to Ann and to many of Sasha's friends and colleagues, some of whom are here tonight. And I really did my best to capture the spirit of the man they described to me. And I'm going to read you a short excerpt tonight, and for those of you who knew Sasha, I hope it does him justice. In the tradition of scientists of yore, Shulgin investigated his creation's effects by first testing them on himself, starting at extremely low doses and working his way up. "It saves a lot of mice and dogs, believe me," he quipped. If a material proved interesting, he would introduce it to his wife, Ann, and to a research group composed of 9 to 11 trusted friends, including scientists, psychologists, and others with ample experience in psychotropic drugs. Compared to previous research on psychedelics in the 1940s and 50s, this approach was unique, not only in that it wasn't being done behind closed doors, but also because the Shulgins and their friends were primarily interested in taking these substances to flourish, said Erica Dick, a historian at the University of Saskatchewan and author of Psychedelic Psychiatry. Its distinction from taking drugs to treat or address something we might think of as a deficit or something missing. They were taking them just to be more, or to be better than. As his psychedelic explorations deepened, Shulgin became completely convinced that there is a wealth of information built into us, with miles of intuitive knowledge tucked away in the genetic material of every one of our cells. Access to the interior universe is normally barred, however, for those who haven't devoted a lifetime to meditation or other practices for reaching transcendence. The gift of psychedelic drugs, Shulgin realized, is that they give anyone a clear route of entry to the fathoms of the mind, an expressway to the profound that may lend answers to the deepest questions of existence, selfhood, and consciousness. It really is all in our heads, though. It's up to the individual to choose whether to use such drugs as mere entertainment or as keys for unlocking cryptic realms of being and meaning. Shulgin liked to joke that out of the hundreds of mind-altering drugs he sampled, cheap red wine was his favorite. A fast talker with a high-pitched voice and a hypomanic energy, he was equally at ease discussing science and chemistry or philosophy and literature, a true Renaissance man, his friends like to say. He also loved a good wordplay. Many who knew him still groan when recalling his famous over-the-top puns, naughty limericks, and cheesy jokes. As one Sashaism went, "Do you know how an orchestra and a bull are the opposite of one another? With the bull, the horns are in the front, and the asshole is in the back." Happy birthday, Sasha.